So, I wanted to do a video about GoPort. I wanted to give them a special shout out because they GoPort took care of me and my mom, and so you could go on this video is not sponsored or anything. I'm not getting paid to do it. It's just when you get good service, you give the people a shout out, okay? Because I've been telling everybody about it at work. I've been rambling about it. If you're ever cruising out of Orlando, I would suggest, unless you're planning on doing all the driving yourself and everything, go with GoPort. You can either book it so that they'll take you from the airport straight to the port if you're doing it for the day of, or you can do what I did was I booked the hotel through them and transportation to the port. So what I did was I went on there and I booked it, and then what happened is when you get to the airport, because I took a bright line to Orlando, from Miami to Orlando, I took bright line. Then when I got up there, I called, they give you a number to call the hotel, and the hotel actually sends an Uber to come pick you up. Now, they take you to the airport. You have different options. You have different hotels. You can either stay by the airport or you can stay by the port. I chose to, because the hotels by the port, they were a bit high, and to be honest with you, if we're just gonna be there for one night, So what I did was I stayed at a La Quinta by the airport. Heads up, not the best La Quinta. It's an old restaurant, but the old restaurant. It's an old hotel that need to be updated. I'm not gonna lie to you. There were a lot of things that I saw. Typically, myself, I would not book if I was going on vacation, but it was for one night, whatever. So when they give you a time where they're picking you up from the hotel to take you to the port. When we got on the shuttle, it's a coach bus. But when we got on the bus, there were people already in the bus, so that means that they already went to pick up some people, and then after us, I think they went to two or three other hotels to pick up people. Then after that, they got on the highway. They took us straight to the port. I would say on the highway itself, the ride was about 45 minutes. And then after that, traffic wasn't bad. It was smooth sailing. There were no issues whatsoever. When we got to the port, there were people on the ship that were going to Carnival. So the person dropped them off to that ship, and then after that, everybody else was going on Star of the Seas. So when we got there, they pulled up in front of Royal Caribbean, and then they took our luggages, and they told us they were just gonna go straight to the ship. And all I had to do was get my purse. My mom and I made sure I had my boarding pass, and they checked my boarding pass. And after I checked it and everything, my boarding pass, I think it's Royal Caribbean. That I don't know if it's because I booked that one. I don't know if it's because I booked with Delta, or if it's my tier, whatever it is. For the first time my boarding pass had Express on it, and because of that, I went in a different line, and I was inside the ship between the bus and the ship. I said 5 minutes. Everything went smooth, but again, special shout out to GoPort. That was money well spent because we had no issues. It took care of the hotel. It took care of transportation to and back from the port. From the port, when we returned, all we had to do was walk out to the bus, give my name because the booking was under my name. And then they were like, great, just go in the bus. And then they took our luggages. And then once our luggage was in the bus, we got on the bus and they took us back to Orlando Airport. Now, because being the cautious traveler that I am, when I booked the Brightline trip, I booked it for 12 o'clock because I didn't know what could happen, so I gave myself enough time from the ship to Brightline. So I booked it for 12 noon. However, I was at the port by 8 o'clock. So what I did was I asked the young lady at the desk if it's possible for me to get an earlier booking, like the next available. So she said, yes, there is one leaving at 9 o'clock. So what I did was I said, if I have to pay for it, whatever. I didn't have to pay anything extra to change the trip time. However, my mom's suitcase, the one that she said wasn't full or anything and blah, 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 I was charged $20 because it was a big suitcase, so that I had no issues with. And so then we got back on Brightline at 9, I think it was 9:20 or something like that, which is okay because we had time to have breakfast because we did not have breakfast on the ship. So we had time to have breakfast before we left. And then after that, we came down to Miami, no incidents, no nothing, and everything was great. So again, kudos to GoPort. Do GoPort. Again, I am not getting paid for this. I am not, it's just good service, good recognition. That's it. All right, so you guys be good. Again, if you're cruising out of Orlando, give GoPort a try. All right, bye.